I was not really like, okay, stand-up was great, and when they were on the ground, I was like, okay, I don't really know what's going on here, but it looks cool.
Right.
But it's kind of like lulled. And now that I know a little bit about jiu-jitsu, dog, tremendous to fucking watch these things, especially when they go to the ground.
I know.
But the thing about MMA fighters, man, is like it's hard for them to really, unless they're proficient and that's their main, what do you call that? Like
Discipline?
style.
Discipline? Style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you put a jiu-jitsu guy in a or an MMA guy whose background is boxing, you put him in a gi and you train with him, it's
Probably not going to go well.
no.
All right.
Will, do you got enough
Third
juice
time.
there
Oh, we're good?
in your cans?
Yeah,
As
man,
Matt
I'm
was-
juiced to the fucking gills over here.
Okay. Matt, how are yours?
I'm good. I mean, a little bit more.
I think you're the second one.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow. Much better.
Yeah. Okay.
Juiced to the gills. You know what?
Will sounds really good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you know what?
Chris has got the high-end mic.
You always pull that thing up, pull that sucker up to your face a little bit more.
Oh, like
Much better.
Pull that sucker up to your face. Anyway,
no. Honestly, your guys' mics. Sorry, Will. Your guys' mics are like just as good as this.
No,
one,
I can't
even
believe how
though
good
they-
it sounds when
yeah.
I listen to him, after the fact.
Even though this one was a little more.
It's kind of shiny, too.
Yeah, it is. A little
what did that
shiny.
mic run you, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it was close to 200.
Okay, so those were actually reasonable at Guitar Center. I thought there was going to
Yeah.
be like $35 for a mic, and
That-
boy was I wrong.
That one was 30. The one you have.
Well, it works
The
fine.
PV.
Sounds
Yeah.
just fine.
That one was 50. The Rode.
But no, let me tell you guys, that one that Rogan uses, it's that black thick mic. I could hear my heart beating.
Really?
Because you can sample the freaking mics over there at Guitar Center with headphones on, and I put
Yeah.
the headphones on, and I was like, I could hear myself blinking.
How busy was Guitar Center?
Dead.
Well,
Place is going out
they're
of business.
saying
man.
this will be the year they go under.
Wow.
Amazon destroying the world, but I'm still buying from them. 1-day shipping now. Did you see that? $800 million they just put into their infrastructure.
on all orders.
So all Prime from 2 days to 1. In most places, it's already 1 day. He's just taking the world over.
So is his wife now that they're divorced.
She's got a lot of money.
Billions, bitch. Dog.
Divide and conquer.
You're right.
I saw an
There you go.
infographic.
He's like, all right, let's get divorced, and we both take we'll take these companies, we'll
Yeah.
fucking merge them.
Do you
Anyway.
see how many companies he has under his Amazon portfolio umbrella? It's
Enlighten
incredible.
me.
And you've heard of so many.
Yeah.
I saw this infographic, and it was a list of 50 companies that are all with huge valuations. It's amazing.
I wonder if that picture of him. There's a picture circulating around the internet. I don't know if you've seen it. He's sitting in like a shitty office, whatnot, and he has like a sheet, and it says Amazon taped up behind him. He's at a computer, and
1997 or
yeah, it's like
something.
'97,
Yeah, I've seen that.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm a fucking nerd, and I'm just trying to sell shit out of my house." And now look at him. He owns the world, dude. Who's
he's
more rich
jacked.
than Bezos?
Probably some of those people in the Middle East.
I know them. Who's the richest man in who's tied for like the richest?
Rockefeller.
Yeah,
I thought it was some Mexican guy.
I don't know.
They
Tell you who it's not. This guy. Just
Mexico has. I was listening to Tinfoil Hat.
love it.
Sam Tripoli.
You got to
and
take
Alex
it.
Jones was
Got
on
to take it slow. I love tinfoil hat, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
They on the show they were talking about because I think the host is Mexican or one of the guys.
No, he's
there is-
Armenian.
Oh, okay.
Sam Tripoli's Armenian, and the other
Bravo's
guy,
Mexican.
Eddie Bravo,
And
is,
they were-
Hispanic. Yeah, Mexican for sure.
They were saying Mexico has more billionaires than Switzerland,
For real?
which I wouldn't have thought. But then if you think about it, Mexico is a way bigger population.
I
than
just
Switzerland,
don't associate
would
Mexico
think.
with billionaires.
Right.
Interesting.
You know what? It's
Yeah.
probably so skewed to meaning there's the billionaires and then there's the poor. I mean, we have a wealth gap in America, but the wealth gap in Mexico is probably enormous compared to us. But
Yeah.
where's the money in Mexico? Is it in oro? Is it in gold? Oro is gold in Mexico.
I think it's in
Spanish, right?
smuggling drugs and cartels.
That might be part of
you're
it.
right. Yeah,
sure,
but dude,
very corrupt. I think.
right. But think about it. Where does the cocaine come from?
Plants.
Cuba.
Oh, yeah.
Or South America. I
South
thought.
America.
Yeah.
Where does the weed come from? Now that it's
Now it's-
legal in 11 states,
The black market's not the same.
exactly. No one wants the Mexican swag, dude. So where's all the money? I mean,
I thought isn't a lot of weed grown in Canada too?
hell yeah, it is. They ran out. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
No.
Canada ran out of weed, bro.
Let me tell you,
Let me tell you this.
people want legal pot. legal weed, because everywhere
Yeah.
they have it, it's absolutely on fire.
Just making
Who
money
wants
hand
legal
over
weed?
fist.
Public or
Public
the-
does. It's good tax revenue. DUIs go down.
Yeah.
It's less drug abuse.
Is
Lower
Less
opioids.
domestic
Opioids?
violence. It's absolutely true.
Because I did hear one thing. Crowder referenced something in Colorado when they legalized it, that like traffic accidents like went up after the legalization.
Ah, yes. They actually debated that.
Yeah,
on
I remember
Rogan,
about a
I
year and a half or
believe.
2 years ago. I do
they
recall that.
Did have an increase in traffic fatalities or accidents, one of the two, but I think they
They
contributed
correlated
some of
it to something else, and then
more an increase of population or
that's what it was.
Mm.
It's because everybody's moving there.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, I've never really had. I can understand if you're getting like stoned to the gills and you can't really if you're eating going deep with 1,500 milligrams and you're trying to operate a motor vehicle. I mean, I've struggled with like 150, man. Like I was driving down Ann Arbor, and my wife's friend brings out. I'm sitting at her house. This is months ago. She brings out a little donut ball. She's like, "Yeah, we made these yesterday. They were marijuana balls." Like
Chocolate.
She made chocolate. She made cookie dough, and she made like powdered sugar.
Chris, they probably taste terrible.
Really?
All that
Yeah.
stuff just tastes funky.
It was funky, but not too bad. And I was like, "How much is this?" "Oh, it's light. It's 10. It's no big deal."
Next thing you know, you're seeing
Totally
things.
fucked with me, and I ate it. And dude, not even. I ate pizza, so like Matt was saying, weed is marijuana when it's ingested. It's fat soluble. So if you eat like fatty fucking foods, and I was eating fried Jets pizza and deep dish, it's just covered in oil.
Tremendous.
I got just launched into
Saturn.
yeah further. Keep going to the Kuiper Belt and past, bro. And I had to get it, and
Good.
I was. Dude, by the time
The Kepler belt.
I floated down to my car, got in, and I was like, I was breathing heavy. I'm like, I white knuckled the steering wheel, and it took me about 10 minutes to just reverse out of the. She lives in a condo complex, and I reversed, and I was in the right lane, and just staring. I'm like, please God, let me get home.
Thank God the right lane.
Thank God the right lane's there, man.
I definitely try not to drive when I'm under the influence.
Of any, like
Yeah,
even
anything.
that's
I mean,
smart. That's smart.
You have to be. It's a privilege, I think, that we have here to be able to do that and drink. So,
But
may
I
as well
feel like-
respect it.
right.
There's so many people who are so taboo about it. So I don't know. It's a bad.
You're
bad
right.
look.
You're right. It does make me a little bit more patient. I think though. So if I'm a very not anxious driver, but aggressive.
Well, you drive for a living.
True.
You probably drive more than I do.
You think?
Yeah, Chris, you don't have to drive, but we work way out in.
Detroit. Yeah.
So where do you work? You don't mind me asking?
Campus Martius.
That's right.
You know what?
area.
I was just down there. Where was I? What is in Detroit for?
Opening day.
It's too busy for that.
It's just.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you park? I mean, it's just a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you
It
must
is.
pay to park.
Yeah, I
course.
pay It's $20 a month gets deducted from my paycheck. I park at Joe Louis. There's a surface lot, and they give us a people mover pass.
Tell me
No
you
kidding.
saw that Real Sports thing about the Illiches.
Brian Gumble.
Oh my gosh.
No,
they
please
don't.
explain.
They're not paying like any taxes. Is that right?
Basically, they said that, and I'm talking out my ass a little bit, but I watched the thing twice on Real Sports because it was so unbelievable. So the stadium complex and everything was $800 million. And they said, we'll put $500 million of our own money in, but you have to come up with $300 million. Now, mind you, the
Who's
city's
who has to come
Detroit.
up?
Now, mind you, the city's bankrupt, and the family has multiple billions of dollars. Well, they pitched it as we're going to build the stadium, and then the downtown Detroit district, which was like 4 or 5 different residential and like commerce. Do you remember seeing those drawings where they were going to build it out around the stadium? Well, all they built is parking lots, and they built an office building for themselves, and that's it.
And they were supposed to build residential housing.
And they're saying, oh, we're behind schedule. But people are saying, yeah, but the stadium was done on time or early. So basically all that money, the $300 million, since Detroit didn't have it, it was money earmarked for the schools. So they took $300 million from schools and they haven't. We've seen there's no benefit. There's been no money back, and it was bad. You have to watch it. I can pull it up later.
The Illiches are worshipped in this city, and
Yeah.
now that that's released,
And-
they're probably having a
Was that-
shitstorm.
Was that recent?
Try
that
Monday.
aired?
Yeah,
Wow.
Monday. And then, what they're saying is that's great. Downtown Detroit is nice, but people who live in
Yeah.
Detroit don't go downtown. It's guys
Yeah.
like us in the suburbs.
Yeah.
We're the ones spending $80 a ticket to go to the game.
Yeah.
It's not people who live in the neighborhoods around there.
No.
So it's a fuck
Wyoming,
job.
yeah.
It's if you watch it, it's
Yeah.
pretty upsetting. I said to Rebecca, I said, I don't think I want to go to a game for a while. Or I don't. It's disgusting.
Dude, I did not get on board with all this. Oh, the Revive Detroit thing. Oh, I mean, like, yeah, it's cool. The city is nice, but I haven't gone down there like to party yet. I've gone down for games occasionally, but I'm like, this is kind of smoke and mirror to me,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's pretentious a little bit.
Oh, it is.
I
Everybody
don't-
wants
yeah.
to live down there.
Yeah,
That's like
like listen,
that's like the whitest thing you can do is get a loft in Detroit.
yeah, you don't
Tell
want to live
everybody
in
about it and work
Yeah.
at Quicken.
Detroit
I hang out at Punch Bowl
at
Social.
Joy and Greenfield.
Yeah.
Where you're walking out the door with the vest on in the morning sun with the deuce on the hip because you're about to get fucking jumped maybe.
Yeah.
That's Detroit, dude.
See, that's the
That's where
Detroit
my
I
dad's
work
from.
in. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Detroit I work in.
That's where your dad's from.
Yeah.
My buddy's dad works at 8 Mile in Mount Elliott. It's all like factory
That's
shit
all
over there,
factory.
and then it's
That's
ghetto,
over by
dude.
Airport Road
That's where
and stuff.
that's where I used to work. The beverage distributor is right there.
Interstate.
Yeah, yeah.
You had to go there.
Yeah, 1 day a week for meetings. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
That's a bad area.
It's a bad area.
You better lock those
it's
doors,
tough, dude.
You better
Bad
lock
area.
those
Better
doors.
lock those doors and what they'll do that smash and grab. Well, they'll have 2 cars right. They'll put one in front of you. They'll merge a car in front of you, and then
Stop.
one behind you.
Oh,
Boom! They rear end you.
yeah. Yep.
Boom!
Yeah.
Lay it out, Unc. Lay it out.
I
They'll
had
rob
that.
you.
I was actually rear-ended at a stoplight in Detroit. I was coming home, and I didn't take 75 like I normally do. I kind of went down, I think it was Michigan Ave, and I don't know why I went this way, but somebody rear-ended me, and I wasn't thinking at the time. I pulled off to the side. The guy left.
Oh, of course.
I didn't even
Of
see,
course.
but
He's not insured.
my dad was telling me like, don't pull off to the side. Like he could have had like a gun or something. I was like, yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's a scam. It's not a scam. It's like a opportunity.
robbery
yeah,
tactic.
it's
Yeah.
strong arm, dude.
Yeah, because I was over here trying to be nice, like, okay, let's pull over the side, let's exchange information. Nope, it just fucking
it's
took off. Luckily, my car was fine.
Really
No
you.
scratches, no nothing.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I recommend people purchase what's called broad collision coverage. It's a more expensive premium, but what it is in Michigan is a no-fault state, so it waives your collision deductible in the event of a not-at-fault accident. So if
Okay.
you were rear-ended like that,
You wouldn't pay the $5 or
you
the
fled the
$250.
seed. Precisely.
How much are you looking at? I mean, is it obviously based on your record and so forth and where you live? But is it a huge
Probably
premium?
an extra $100 every 6 months,
It
$200
seems like
a
that's
year.
worth it, especially with
Tops.
my job.
Depends on your vehicle.
Well, my car's not everybody gets to drive a Ferrari like me.
Well, you know
You
what?
do got like a nice little.
Oh, I got a 10-year-old
Benz.
car. I like to have the cheapest car possible because my job, I
A
just
to
beat the
B.
shit out of my car. A to
A to
B.
B.
You got a nice Benz over there.
Oh yeah, big body 500 AMG.
You used to be on that car
22s.
scene, dog.
Used to be on the car scene for sure. Ooh, I had some fast cars and motorcycles.
You had a Subaru.
Ooh, I had a fast Subaru.
Did you get it? Do you have like a spoiler on it
Oh,
and fucking
no.
brakes and
I had a
shit?
huge turbo. It was so fast.
Oh, yeah.
It was so fast.
How many speeding tickets
None.
do you have?
No, I
Not
didn't drive. I
one.
just would accelerate. Like I'd pull off of a light fast, but I wouldn't drive like I topped it out once, but I wouldn't like drive crazy.
Did
fast.
you ever have some fucking meatheads pull up beside you? And
Oh,
be
I
like,
would smoke people. It was 4-wheel drive. And what's a street race? Like 2 gears. If you have 4-wheel drive, you don't spin the tires. I would leave so hard I'd be across the intersection by the time a Mustang would hook up. I don't think you'd have to be like in a race car. It was so fast to 60, like 2.9 seconds, 3
Wow.
seconds. That was incredible.
That Tesla. I think we
That
talked about this
Tesla's
last time. But that fucker
crazy
goes 0 to
fast.
60 in like 2 seconds, dude.
Dude, science.
On an electric battery. Science, bitch. What up? Did you guys ever watch Breaking Bad?
Of course.
No, I've never seen it.
Damn, Chris.
Never seen it.
You were probably fucking.
Doing Tabata sprints on an Airdyne
When Breaking Bad was out, yeah.
and eating
I
grass-fed beef and bone broth.
I didn't see it when it was out. I saw it when it came to Netflix. I bet you have them things you hook up to your ankles where you fucking. It's induced Bigelow. Where you like latch your feet onto a rail
Oh, I would love one of those to
And you
stretch
just
my
hang?
back out.
and then you do fucking sit-ups. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. No, I don't have one of those.
Oh,
No, he's got
No.
a sledgehammer, man. He's old school.
Fucking sledgehammer.
dude, I would love a teeter hang-up. Do you know what those things
Yeah,
are?
they're on TV all the time.
I wonder if they work.
What is? Wait, what
Dave
is
Brown's got one, and he said it's amazing.
What is that? What is that?
It's an inversion table. You put your feet in, and then you flip upside down, and it
Oh.
stretches decompression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love one, but I don't have no room for that.
But why couldn't you just get a pull-up bar? Just
And then
hang.
well,
from it?
it's different when it's because when you hang from your feet, there's more spinal decompression than when you hang with your hands, I guess,
I could. Yeah. Cause
because your shoulders are absorbing a lot of it.
yeah. Okay.
In your forearms, I'm assuming, because you're. It's hard for a lot. For
Dude, you're too tall to hang from a doorway.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't hang from any doorways. I'll bring down the foundation, man.
You're not hanging from too much.
The gym I go to, they have like a big jungle gym,
Not really.
and I use that to stretch out. But I have to lift my feet up a little bit because I'm taller.
Yeah, you're like 6'6", right?
No, I'm 6'3" and a quarter. 6'3" and a quarter.
Two and a quarter.
How
So
tall
now-
are you? You're about 5'10".
5'8",
I'm not quite 6.
almost 5'9".
You?
I'm not
I thought
quite
you were
6.
taller. You're taller than me.
5'11". It's because
you
I'm
were really tall, coming like when we greeted each other.
because I have
when
shoes
came in.
on. You always see me barefoot. Think about that. 99% of the time
You
we
were,
spend
like,
together.
really tall. I was like, shit, you grew.
No,
That is true. Most of the time we see each other, it's like when we're barefoot.
it's true.
Yeah, we're in
You
pajamas.
got headgear on.
I've got,
Will soaking wet. I am too, though.
No, dude. When I sweat, it starts.
It's
When you unleash the what do they call that on fire hydrants? Cap.
the cap,
Yeah.
the valve.
It doesn't stop, and it gets stuck in my beards, and then the beard just drips. So it's a combination of my forehead and my beard that drips, and I get these freaking forehead acne all the time because I'm always like wiping my sweat like across my forehead and just clogging every pore with all the oil and salt and dirt and shit. So I'm
yeah.
always breaking
Especially
out
everybody
like
else
I'm
is
fucking
sweat.
17 years old again.
I still break out. I'm 40. 30.
You know what I think, dude? You know what kind of creeps me out? When we leave the mats, I have to walk to my shower barefoot, and I walk through my basement barefoot. What am I tracking in, if anything?
I don't.
How does that work? How does the transmission work? Because
I would be taking my sandals, walking them to the blue bucket, foot, and then right into my sandals.
Don vouches that that's a fungus bucket. He is adamant
Then
that that's worse than
Get some
not
of those
doing it.
defense wipes then, or that foam barrier. That's why I wear those footy things. Well, that's not true. I wear those footy things because when I started, I was sloppy and I dragged my feet everywhere.
I need to
I-
get one of those footy things.
Dude, they're like $15 and they last.
Yeah.
They last me 6 months, so they
Okay.
they last you a while. I'm a big boy, so
Yeah, I kind of like those footy things.
I don't like it, man. I like it barefoot. Yep. I like to feel it. I don't. I feel like I slip maybe with those a little
I
bit.
do a little bit. My legs are sore today, trying to bridge your big ass. I was like, wow, man, my legs are sore. But no, I'll
That was
give you a
good
link
training,
for
dude.
those. It was good training. I appreciate it. I really do.
Hey, no problem.
I feel like
man.
there's not a lot of benefit to it for you, but I think that teaching probably helps you learn too. So
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
you didn't really ask me anything. I didn't have to teach nothing. But it's good for me because I can work. I don't have to. I train with a lot of higher belts, and so it's tough to work your offense.
or your new stuff.
Yeah, because you're so busy trying to defend that it's hard to. And when you try to work offense on high belts, they shut it down almost fucking immediately.
But not Matt.
So
I wasn't shutting shit down.
it's nice to. That's what I believe. I believe as a higher rank, which I'm not, that it's important to roll with lower belts so you can feel what it's like to get subs and what the technique is needed to get it. And just like I believe Rogan says that too. He says it's always good to fuck up a few beginners every now and then. Don't chase them away from the gym, but like take a white belt and just work. Feel the movements of grabbing an arm bar and flowing back with it, and then getting to side, going to knee on belly, transitioning to mount, transitioning to back. Just flow through it so you can understand the process and to get yourself better.
Well,
I
all those
believe in
things
that.
happened.
Yeah, I believe in that.
I truly believe that.
Yeah.
Don't like. It's not a time to. Yeah, I mean, don't like impose your will and just try to flatten the guy immediately. But
No, you were a
work
good
your
partner.
technique. Yeah, work good technique.
There's a theory, the law of thirds. Like you want to spend a third of your time with people who are
Better.
better than you, third of the time with people on the same level, and then a third of your time with people who are under.
I've never
you.
heard that, but I love that.
I like
Yeah.
that too.
I love that.
I feel like that's what I'm doing too. So that's
Oh,
good.
at a jujitsu gym, yeah, you're rolling. Yeah, most of the time you're
Oh,
rolling.
you're not talking. You're talking in life.
Well, yeah, life or it could be applied to jujitsu. To you spend a third of your time rolling with higher belts, third of time rolling with.
Of course.
Like I rolled with Makota today.
Is he good?
Who's
I have never rolled with
Makoto?
him. That's Yuki's brother,
Yeah,
correct?
Yuki's brother. He's just a ball of energy. He's got
Oh.
tons of energy, and I was just kind of free flowing. I wasn't exerting too much. Yeah, he would get on top, and I would just kind of bridge, shrimp. I'd get back and caught him in a triangle.
Good for
and
you.
It felt good.
Good for you.
Don't triangles feel great?
Yeah, it felt good to
Depends
like,
which
finish
end you're
one.
on.
True.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't sleep last night because of my shoulder.
I'm sorry.
It's
Did I put
okay.
you in a triangle?
A few times. It's okay. I know it when you're doing it, nonstop. You lose track. No, couple.
No.
It's
But when they
okay.
turn the corner on you, if you get your triangle and they're already half turned the corner on you, do you know what I'm talking about?
Like when you shift onto the other hip to sink it in. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, when you lace up a triangle and your opponent who's being triangle, they do the reach across.
Oh
And-
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
showed
Their
me
shoulder
that, yeah.
down.
Yeah. Yep.
You have to make sure your hips are. I always forget to do that. I always forget to pull my hips up off the ground
Uh-huh.
and try to push the guy back down. But if I'm too elevated, if I'm too curled up, like rolled up on my back, it's an easy pass. Or if I'm not, it has to be like a nice medium.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they're a strong guy, they're just gonna shrug you off.
That's happened to me a lot. I'll get a triangle on somebody and they'll just shrug it right off me.
I'll show you some shit that might prevent that.
But I don't. What you're talking about with the hips, I don't do that.
Dude,
I don't. Whatever you call it.
shoot your hips up.
Shoot your
like,
hips
elevate
up.
your hips
Yeah.
while you're in a
Yeah.
triangle. It's
Interesting.
night and day, dude.
Yeah.
Night and day. Arm
I gotta
bars
do
too.
that.
I
Okay,
get so
yeah.
stuck in that, man. Head on the mat while you're doing an arm bar. Everyone's always looking up at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I got it.
Mhm.
Head on the mat. It creates like just a power lever with your head
Yeah.
flat on the mat.
That's a
It's
good
great.
point.
All those details.
Yeah.
It's details for details. I mean, it's everything.
It's just, dude. It's
Like
just
you were
a
like,
black
look up
hole.
when you pass guard. Look up at the ceiling. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's where you dual hands on chest and hips in. I was telling Chris also just continue to work them hips in. But
We have to get one more person, and then the four of us can go and just roll for an hour and just trade off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just keep switching.
I don't think.
Don will
I-
do anything.
I know.
Yeah.
Don will train with any of us.
You know what Don was saying last night? He's like, it's good that you're just doing hours with different people. He's like, that might be better for right now than class in a way.
100%. 100%. You'll learn more training and then asking what you did wrong than sitting there drilling through 17 different. Oh, here's an arm bar. Oh, here's a Kimura. Oh, here's an ankle lock. Okay, all right. Let's stop. Let's take it back. Let's start with a guard pass. What are the fundamentals of guard passing?
Sure.
Not what is this cool Kimura move? How do I get to this Kimura? And how do I bait this person into giving me their arm to get the Kimura? Which is good. Like they all instruct that. But let's start square.
Right.
How am I going to get there? What do I need to
Start from
do?
Square one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much to
Foundations, man.
Yeah.
It's an endless black hole. Jiu-jitsu, I think.
Well, there's different levels to it.
Yes.
sure.
Yes. Definitely. Gi and no gi. But
Yeah.
no gi is
Noski's huge now.
huge, man.
That's where the money's at.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's all I want to train now is Nogi. That's what we
I-
did this morning.
I did not
no-gi.
like it.
Really?
And
Who
then now
teaches
I'm-
Saturdays? Leech or Perch?
It was Perch. Now today it was Ryan. I don't know where Eric was.
What'd you guys do today?
Oh, today I was telling Matt. Today was tremendous.
Yeah.
It was tremendous.
Ryan
day.
did some good shit. He's always
Yes.
got some good shit lined up.
It was working if somebody breaks your close guard and they got the knee up, they got that knee up and they're about to pass, blocking their knee, scooting back, and then when they go to move back up, because normally they're probably going to just try to just muscle in, pass with their knee. They're going to leave a space open between their, calf and hamstring right here, and you go De La Hiva in with your feet, and then you have a nice little sweep there to get them on their side. If you can kind of picture what I'm saying.
Yes. Do you bring with the foot you've put in for your De La Hiva, do you take your other foot on the far hip and get your sweep?
Yeah. He taught that. He said,
Or what are you doing with your other leg?
with the other leg, it starts off block the knee. The other leg is on their thigh to create space and to also kind of prevent them from
Coming forward?
from coming forward. And then that's blocking their hip. You're blocking their knee. This leg shoots in for the De La Hiva like that. Take this arm and then sweep them.
Oh, you're sweeping them to the opposite side of the De La Hiva leg.
Yes, I think so.
That's so far beyond my pay grade. I don't know
Dude,
what
it
the
was
hell you're
cool.
talking about, but it looked
was
good.
Really cool. It was
Dude, Ryan's got some awesome shit, man.
yeah.
But he wasn't teaching
Yeah.
when I left, man. He was
It's
out the
got
door.
some fire stuff.
Fire, man. He's great. He's a wizard, man. Ryan is a wizard.
I
think
rolled
he's-
with them once.
I have
Did
a
you?
few times.
bad.
He just
I've
shuts
never
you
rolled with
down
Ryan.
Yeah,
everywhere.
he's
I go to throw this in. He puts his hand here. He just knows where it's.
yeah.
I mean, he's seen it all.
Yeah.
It's just like I said. There's just levels to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's trained in like Brazil too and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
You know, Dave Brown grew up in Brazil.
yeah, I never knew that till recently.
Dad was like a big manager at GM, and he was down there, and he got introduced to it at 13. And he said on the playground, that's all they did. Like it was part of the gym curriculum. It was
Yeah.
everybody did jujitsu.
Wow.
Well, that's huge down
And
there.
he went to school with a bunch of like champions that are champs now.
That's
How old is he?
He's my age. He's 38 or he's 39, maybe 40.
Okay.
Dave Brown's
Yeah.
only 40?
Yeah.
I thought he was like in his late 40s.
No, he's 40.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got that gray hair.
It's that salt and pepper. I'm
He's
just
salty,
lucky.
dog. You got a little salt going over there with the blonde frost tips.
Those frost tips.
You got frost tips over there. Man,
used
I
to
would have
rock
loved to
those.
known you in the 90s, man.
Dude.
Could have been my dad.
Off of the chain. Hey, now.
Playing, dog.
Would've been-
You were probably tan, fucking frost tipped, jacked.
Oh yeah, like that picture
Yeah, that picture
with the
was
frosted
great.
tips and the wife beater in front of Studio 54 in like 2002.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all made mistakes. It's okay. It was a different time.
Just a post-nasal drip from all the coke you're fucking blowing. Just fucking.
Hilarious.
The 90s, man. What a time to be alive, the 90s.
I mean, we were alive. But
I
not
wasn't
like-
really living life, though.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, Snickelodeon.
yeah,
Remember Snick?
Snick.
That was the best, dude. All that. This is. Oh, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Used to scare the
Afraid of
piss
the
out of
dark,
me.
Yeah.
See, you guys
Ah,
are
Real
definitely younger than
Monsters.
me.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
What was
Ah, Real Monsters?
Yeah, Ah, Real Monsters. Cat Dog.
I still know the theme song, dude.
Cat
Let's
Dog.
hit it.
Cat dog. Something, little cat dog. Yeah, dude.
Rocco's
Dope.
Modern Life.
Oh, that was- I remember that. My sister
Modern
watched it.
Life.
Yeah.
Rocco's Modern Life. Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold. Yeah. Rugrats.
Rugrats was
I remember
awesome.
that was on for a long time though.
Oh yeah.
Like I think I watched that when its first season was like the
Really?
early 90s.
Wow. Yeah.
I remember my sister was younger, so she would be watching it.
Did you guys grow up in the area?
Canton.
Do you remember Quo Vadis on Wayne and Warren?
Quo Vadis Theater?
Yeah.
With the upstairs penthouse with 11 seats? Yeah.
Of course
I've
he
never
knows.
been
You probably
there.
delivered fucking food there at some point.
No, I would go see movies there.
Really? I saw
Yeah.
the Rugrats movie there. That's the only time I've ever been there.
That place was so antiquated and dated. It's kind of too bad it's gone.
I know,
It
it was
was definitely like
nice.
a piece of time.
Yes.
I think
yeah.
it was built in like the late 50s or early 60s.
Wow.
You know
The
what-
theaters were small, like this size screen. In one of them
Really?
upstairs. It was so crazy. It was probably sat 20 people.
You know the last theater that I believe around here, other than the Wayne Theater down on Michigan Avenue, is the Penn Theater in Plymouth. That thing's
Yeah, they show lots of movies all the time.
They do, man.
They'll show like
Pretty
movies
recent.
from the 80s and the 70s, and then they'll show stuff that's like second run.
I am full throttling right now with this brain
Are
MCT dog. I'm at
Yeah,
full.
you're firing on all cylinders.
I'm firing.
I like it.
I'm unleaded.
Let's hope it doesn't fire too much.
That's how I'm gonna blow your fucking seats out. I don't have any grumblings yet.
Matt, I want to compliment you on your mug game.
You like
your
the mug game?
is
It's
dope as
off the
fuck, dude.
Do you like that?
Yeah,
Donkey Kong.
You gotta-
Classic.
You got to keep it real.
And you had the Rainforest Cafe mug.
Yeah, old school.
That's-
I've got all kinds of craziness. I've got some podcast mugs and
Yeah, dude, you're really interesting, man. I enjoy your company.
I enjoy your guys' company for sure. You guys are good training partners and good friends.
Definitely. Speak of, you know what really grinds my gears? We're talking about these old Quo Vadis theaters and such. This goddamn, no offense, Notre Dame church. $20 billion or $2 billion in 2
Oh,
days. And you can't feed the goddamn children in Africa. Give me a fucking break, dude. That pisses me off.
Wait, to $2 billion to
They raised
like,
$2 billion in like 2 days
And-
to rebuild it from rich fucks.
And like
build
big
this
companies
church.
like Polo and Louis Vuitton
Right?
There-
and like private donors.
Will, I hear what you're saying. There's a great YouTube video. I don't know the context of it, but it's called like
It's called Fuck That Church.
no. It's about like aid to Africa, and he was saying like in this TED talk, what?
I was looking how long.
Oh,
You're
like
good.
what I'm looking at.
No, you're good.
This is the fucking master command control.
Command.
What was I saying? Oh, this TED Talk video. He was saying most of the aid to like Africa gets. We would have to pull it up and watch it. It gets like misused,
Like misappropriation.
misappropriated.
Winds up
and-
going
and,
towards the
like,
director and the
most of it.
president. And
Yeah.
Kind of like charities, which
In-
is why I don't donate. No one hate me.
No, I
I don't. Hey, man.
What do I do? No, I don't donate.
Doesn't end up. I think St. Jude is probably one of the most legit. St. Jude Children's, but other than that, it's
Yeah,
not
that's
going
legit.
to.
But like Salvation Army, and I've seen like
So,
pictures
yeah.
where it's like how much the CEOs get paid, and it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand that.
A
Nonprofits,
UNICEF guy makes like $4 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that possible?
right? What were you saying, Chris? I'm sorry. I think we cut you off.
Yeah.
What with that
Notre
Africa
Dame.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, the Notre Dame thing.
We're all over the joint. I love it.
Notre
mostly,
Dame.
I'd have to rewatch the video, but he was just saying that most of the time this aid to Africa is just not used correctly, and I guess you could kind of say that with everything. Like,
Yeah.
like any money you allocate to a good cause is not entirely going to be used appropriately.
100% agree. 100%
I hear
agree.
what you're saying. Two fucking billion.
$2 billion, bro.
That's
$2 billion.
And fast.
yeah,
And fast.
really fast. Wow.
To rebuild a church that bare like. Did you see the aftermath pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's probably like maybe 110.
Mm-hmm.
You would know. You're the insurance
Yeah,
guy.
that's what I'm saying.
Will's
dog.
already appraising Notre Dame over the internet. I love it. That's my favorite thing today.
Do you think somebody
rest
did
of
that
that
on
money go?
purpose then?
Did
to
they find the
collect?
CNO, the cause and origin?
No, they think it was an electrical issue. I guess the
Oh,
place was
really?
not to code. I read, but who knows what's
Been
real.
around for like how long? 300 some odd
No,
years.
800.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like dude. It's a lot of history, man.
Speaking of 800 years old, Graham Hancock.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say me, you dick.
No,
It's a
how
nice
c-
transition.
That makes me think. Like, listen, if that church is 800 years old, the architecture that went into that is precise, and that was 800 years ago.
Without
okay.
the aid of electronic devices and
Okay,
anything.
so how can the Romans make precision cuts with no power tools? Precision cuts, man.
Just craftsman.
Really?
What do you think? Aliens came and helped them? I mean,
I'm not ruling it out.
I think a lot of times people shortchange like
Humans?
history's ability to do stuff.
Do you think it's because we were just had craftsmen, or were we advanced at some point?
I think that
I think there's something to that advanced
I think there's
theory.
yeah, I think there's been some resets. I think
Yeah.
shit hits the earth, and I think that there's like craziness that happens. I mean, they're finding like human bones that are way older, and then they're finding Denisovians. They
Yeah.
found a new
Yeah,
tribe
yeah.
in Papua or something, New Guinea, and then so we don't really know shit. Everything we learned in school was bullshit. I mean, when in regards to Clovis first, the Clovis
Yeah.
population was the first one here. They found mammoth bones in a swamp in Florida that are like 120,000 years old that have cuts on them. So they have no idea. And then the DNA of the people in, what was Graham Hancock saying, in South America is the same as Australia?
Yeah.
How the fuck is that even possible?
Australasians?
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Australian.
Because we like fucking as humans, man.
I know, but
Yeah.
it
But
just
how
seems
did
like
they
everything
get-
we learned was just not
From Australia to South America.
Yeah.
Boats.
seafarers. Okay.
They did say he was talking about the boats.
How else? Maybe they were flying planes.
Who knows?
But where
I
are
don't
the
think
planes?
I think they're in boats more than
So
planes.
do I. I feel like there would be a biomarker if we were that advanced. You know, we'd find.
Well, they say with that 23andMe and everybody doing their DNA, they can really figure stuff out now.
I heard that was bullshit. Is it not?
I don't know. I'm still sitting on my kit. I haven't done it. I should do it on the next podcast and send in. You guys should make me. I don't know if
Is it just
having that
spit?
much information for me is a good thing.
Why?
Because I think I'll be obsessed about it if I find out I have some marker for cancer, and then I'll be like taking ridiculous amounts of like
Yeah.
resveratrol or something, just being like obsessed about it.
But you know what, man? You can be the healthiest motherfucker in the world. You
I
can
know.
still get cancer.
I know.
You can smoke. My grandmother's. I think I told you guys this too. My grandmother's brother has been smoking since he was 13 years old. He's 82. Says he goes to the doctor. Doctor says if you quit smoking, you'll die.
Yeah, because nicotine's
Stimulant.
or no, I think nicotine itself is a
Yeah.
carcinogen. When you stop smoking, isn't that true? Isn't that well, I've heard
Does
that?
nicotine cause cancer?
No, it's all the byproducts.
So what if you're
Secondary
nicotine gum?
Yeah.
That doesn't cause cancer?
No, nicotine I think is like a nootropic.
It's a
I've
stimulant.
heard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Dude, sometimes when I'm at work, I'm a little bit stressed. I'll throw in a couple pieces of nicotine
I've
gum.
never fucked with that. And
Woo!
get the party started.
I mean, it's so subtle, dude. It's so subtle, but I'm focused.
I believe that.
You know, I'm not like, even if I work out when I'm chewing it, I'll just, I keep going, man.
It's a
keep
total
going.
college, high school athlete thing, dipping and chewing gum.
Oh, I was dipping heavy for a long time, man.
I've never fucked with it. I had a really
And
bad
Don's got
experience.
trying to get me back on the needle, dude. Is he still dipping?
I haven't seen him do it, but I don't know.
Maybe Rachel made him quit. Thank God, dude.
It says nicotine is the primary substance in cigarettes that causes addiction, but most experts agree that it does not directly cause cancer.
You heard it first.
This
Two whites, one
first.
blue.
That's according to Medical News Today.
Cool.
So I'm good with the nicotine gum, bros. Now I can just be addicted to it.
That makes sense what you're saying about nicotine. Like you have to stay on it because why else would they have like patches? Like you'll quit smoking, but you still have the patch.
Right. I think nicotine is what causes the like habitual use and like
And when you get off it, obviously there's withdrawal
yeah,
symptoms.
because your
And-
brain becomes dependent on having that.
Yeah.
Because most people who smoke, I mean, you're not smoking one cigarette a day.
Yeah.
Smoking is the most disgusting habit in the world, too, in my
My
opinion.
dad smokes.
Cigs?
Yeah.
Well, your dad's
But you're
European.
European. It's different.
They
Like, over there, it's good
smoke.
for you.
I know.
It's
I-
different,
so-
man.
Yeah.
Not as
He
much as the
smoked some crazy
Japanese.
brand. Oh, my
Really?
God.
Japanese?
Japanese.
Oh my God, dude.
They would destroy
What,
hotel
cigs?
rooms. They would
Check out-
destroy hotel rooms.
Chris, pull that shit up. The amount of tobacco, either sales or usage in Japan.
Dude, it's insane. They smoke those Mild 7 cigarettes, which I smoked a little bit off and on. I bought a pack of those.
Mild 7? Who makes it?
It's a Japanese company makes them,
Okay.
and they are strong.
Are they?
Oh yeah,
Just pure tobacco.
just when we
fucking
we had the
rocket cancer
CEO of
sticks.
Toyota stay at the hotel, and they're like, "Will you let him smoke in the room?" We had to replace the draperies, the carpet. This dude smoked so much.
No kidding.
Yeah,
You know they have like competitions, not competitions, but it's pride. They pride themselves on how much they can work. So you
Oh
see
yeah, I
guys,
read
like,
some
sleeping
article
on
on.
the streets.
Yeah, I saw that thing. Article on
Did you
Vice.
see that?
Yes.
Yes, that's where I got. I saw it on Vice.
Dude, that sounds like the opposite of our country.
No, dude, in Germany, I went to Germany 2 years ago, and every day to them is like a fucking siesta. They work like 4, maybe 5 days a week, 3 hours at a time. They go to they go like have lunch and a beer.
That's the way to do it.
I'm telling you, man. And they're like, you Americans, all you do is work.
Most Americans don't
Spain?
use their vacation. That's fucked up.
That's fucked
I'm
up.
burning my vacation. I'm using it.
Oh, I use mine. Not that I have that. We have PTO. Doesn't carry over, which is bullshit.
Really?
Yep.
So a lot of companies want you to use it, or they take it away. But you should be taking it. You should be taking time off.
Well, I agree. I have quite a few. I just went to Cabo. I'll be going to Columbus here just for a weekend for a
Oh.
concert.
Nice. What concert?
Sonic Temple. Shout out to Sonic Temple. Should be all right. System of a Down, Foo Fighters, Disturbed.
Oh.
Not a Disturbed fan at all.
But you'll fuck with it.
Scars on A few other bands though. It's like it used to be Rock on the Range. I don't know if you've
I've
heard of that.
it. I've heard
But
of
they
it.
changed it because Rock on the Range blew because they had like Hailstorm, Nickelback, bullshit.
Yeah, Creed.
Like pop
Creed.
rock.
Can you take? Remember Creed, dog?
Remember how hot that was?
Yeah.
Yes. Not knowing that they were actually a religious band. Did you know that?
Didn't know
They're
that.
a Christian band. Creed,
I know. Did not know that.
Christian band, and the dude was like a hardcore alky, Scott Stapp. I
Really?
guess he kind of fell off the rails after God took him higher.
Happens.
Take me.
That was that time frame of music where every band sounded the same.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit.
Every band. I can't tell you the difference between
Nickelback.
Three
Pearl
Doors
Jam,
Down and-
Three Doors Down.
they
Yeah.
all sound the same.
Until Linkin Park came out with Hybrid Theory and fucking rocked my tits. That was an awesome album, dude. Do you remember
I'm
that?
sure I
album?
know songs off of it, but no.
Breaking the habit.
I can see just Will running on a treadmill,
Was that
sweating,
Hybrid
jamming.
Theory? Or is
No,
that Matora?
That was Metamora.
Oh, yeah, Metamora. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I only like Linkin Park in middle school, so
I can see Will driving down the street with the windows down, just banging on the steering wheel. Sitting in Lincoln Park on the way home from work.
yeah. You know what I used to have? I had that old school iPod with the tape that you pushed in and hooked up, like it had an audio jack to
Yeah,
it, and you
yeah.
pushed your tape in your cassette player. Do you think you're old school, man? I'm old school too, bro.
Discman, not an iPad.
No, an iPod. Yeah, remember the old school iPods?
Yeah.
Oh, with the you went through
huge
your
ones.
tape.
Yeah.
I had a Discman where you had to that motherfucker would skip and you'd be driving over stuff. It was
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
in the 90s, man. It was tough.
Yeah, but it was great. I feel.
Oh, yeah. Discs.
Discs?
I don't even know where my CDs are.
CDs.
Everything's-
I still use CDs.
Yeah.
I guess
still have a
vinyl's
bunch.
hot.
Vinyl's
I'd
hot.
like to
Vinyl
get
came
like
back.
but I don't need that. I would just start collecting it and I'd have to buy like a stereo. I don't that's why I haven't messed with it.
I really want a record. My sister's got one. She don't ever use it, dude. So I'm like, I'm
That's
always
you,
putting
man.
it in her ear. I'm like, hey, you're gonna give that up. But I'll buy like 2 records. I'll listen to it twice, and then
I know.
never again.
Because Spotify's easy.
I
That's
have
what I
Spotify.
Pandora?
Yeah,
It's for Gentiles.
but I don't pay for it because I'm a cheap bitch.
I pay for it. I can't do commercials and I
Spotify, you pay for? $10, right?
In 2017,
That's good,
vinyl
man.
sales in the U.S. rose for the 12th straight year, according
Hipsters.
to Nielsen Music. Yeah.
No
Hipsters.
kidding. I
Most-
wonder why that increase is.
Think the sound's better? I don't know. It's more rich.
Yeah. I think it's a cycle.
It is. I think
Like
you're right.
it. Yeah.
I heard VHS cassettes are coming back. I read
what?
that.
Really?
That was upsetting.
What?
Nothing I like more than
VHS?
shitty ass quality and having to rewind.
Please rewind. Yeah.
Please rewind it. My
There's
mom
still a
has
mammoth
some
video
VHS.
on 7 Mile.
What?
No.
I drive by there and I'm like, what an antiquated piece of shit idea. There's one Blockbusters left, but seriously, there is a mammoth video. And I drive by and think to myself, who in the world rents DVDs?
My wife.
No, she doesn't.
Honest to
From
God.
where?
Family Video
Yeah,
on
there's lots of
Newburgh
family
and Ann
videos.
Arbor Road.
There is? Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't woke to the
There.
family video.
Oh, I was woke to it when I was like, "What the fuck is there a DVD rented in our condo?"
But isn't it the same price?
we
And then you
first
don't have
met.
to worry about returning it if it's $4 on the TV.
Yeah, but it's way cheaper if you rent it.
Is it?
Or rent it from the library.
Good call.
Library's
Yeah.
great.
Speaking of which, where's the Graham Hancock book?
I want
Which
to read
one?
it.
I thought you were going to get it at the library.
I was gonna get the audio.
Yeah.
Oh, the audiobook. He reads it himself.
Let's see if they even have it.
Pull it up.
Those are on my reading list. I want to read Fingerprints.
Which
got
is his newest? You have
Magicians. You
Do
have
you want
Fingerprints?
magicians?
No, I gotta. I've learned this. If I read too many books at a time, like I never finish them. So
yes, dude. I agree 100%.
I go through one at a time.
Do you like fiction?
I don't really read fiction.
I only
No.
read Chuck Palahniuk fiction.
Oh yeah, I've read Fight Club.
yeah, I read Fight Club too.
I thought the movie was a lot better.
That's my dogma, dude. I live by that fucking movie.
Dude, the movie was
I'm obsessed.
so much better than the book, in
So
my
much better.
opinion.
Wired to Eat and all the Eddie Wong books. I think I've got Graham Hancock in the other room.
He's on my reading
So
list.
much better.
I want to read all of his books.
What are some books or movies that were better than the other? You know what I'm saying?
I thought Jurassic Park.
I
the
never read the
book?
book.
I thought the book was outstanding. It's so much more detailed than
Was the book
movie was.
The book precede the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Who wrote the book?
Michael Crichton.
He wrote a
Okay,
lot
so
of like stuff that was big in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was
Yeah.
the difference, like from the book or from the movie?
One's
Like-
90 minutes long and one takes 2 weeks to read.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit more detail.
That's what the thing that I liked about the
onto the
movie
website.
or the book was it just went into so much more detail as far as like information on the dinosaurs and like really kind of like in a way kind of educational stuff, like fact wrapped around this like fictional story. And it is in the movie too, but the book just went into so much more detail with it.
I like that
really
because
liked it.
in the movie, I feel like they did that in the beginning of that one scenario. You know how they watched the video of the DNA?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's probably how they're all wrapped. They're like, let's do this in a quick video. And
Yep.
So are you saying
Yeah.
they just elaborated more on the biology of how this happened?
Yeah, yeah. Like
Okay.
in the movie they were saying that all the dinosaurs were female. And like but somehow they started reproducing. And in the book they kind of explained it more and they were saying that the dinosaurs, yes, they were taken from that mosquito like thing.
The
that was
amber.
the
yeah.
amber, but they mixed some of the DNA from that mosquito with like amphibian DNA. So it was something to do with like the way amphibians just are, like they're not asexual, but they're able to like switch gender, something like
I've
that.
heard that.
I don't know the full detail, but like that was in the book and they didn't really explain that in the movie. Don't get me wrong, I thought Jurassic Park was a phenomenal movie and Jurassic World
great.
sucks. It's not the same.
Is that with
Is that the newest one?
Yeah.
I saw
Not the same.
2 ago where the big shark thing ate. The guy at the end,
Oh,
that's the
yeah,
last one
yeah.
I saw. I was all right. Special effects were
Yeah.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah,
Chris Pratt. Yeah, it's kind of like a comedy almost.
How did they
Tried to be.
How did they like expand from just? I mean, the mosquito only had what, one dinosaur blood in it, right?
I thought I had multiple.
Really? I thought they blew up
Yeah.
after they. Don't mosquitoes like expand and die once they?
Well, if you
Feast.
squeeze your skin, they can eat and explode. You ever see that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but if you they bite you and you go like this, they can't pull out and they can't stop eating and then they pop. I've never done it. I feel like
No
that's a
way.
great way to get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's a great idea. Not really.
Remember the West Nile scare?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a few scares. We had the bird flu scare,
Bird
H-
flu.
mad cow disease.
H5N1.
Swine flu.
Swine flu.
Yeah. Yeah.
How I always wondered that, like the recall process.
With remember just not too long ago they had the ground turkey recall a few months ago.
Yeah. Meyer just had a beef recall. It's
Really?
pretty common.
What?
Listeria. There's a recall through my work. It just stuff gets recalled all the time. A lot of time it's like adhesive was found in the product from the packaging, so they have to recall thousands of shipments of cereal or something.
Damn.
It's very rarely is it. Well, if it's ever produce like melon and stuff, that's a big deal. They get rid of all the produce in the store because there's a lot of like salmonella and melon, cut melon or romaine's bad sometimes.
Melon?
Yeah, cut melon. Yeah,
Like
they fertilize with shit.
watermelon?
Yeah, everything's fertilized with shit.
Well, yeah.
Including shrooms. What up?
But yeah, everything. So there's lots of recalls. But sometimes it's like dumb, like packaging. The seal on the package might not be great. So we got to write up, 200 cases of so and so.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a situation at my job, not at my job, a claim where they made coffee cakes and the paper that they set the coffee cake on before shipment was sticking, like to like cakes.
How many did?
I
How
think
much was the claim?
15,000 units.
50,000 units.
15,000.
So like 3,000 cases or something.
Yep. Also had an envelope company who made envelopes that the machine got stuck and gummed up. Didn't do the gum right on the envelope, so they had to recall like 400,000. That's not a lot of envelopes. If you think
How much
about
was the
it.
claim for?
I don't know. I think they had a limit, 25K.
So you don't just do auto.
Oh, I do all multi-line.
What's the weirdest shit you've seen?
What do you mean in regards to?
Just like a strange claim.
Uh,
Envelope's pretty weird.
I did see a gentleman who had a roof issue who was allowing animals, raccoons, to house in his garage attic. So they had like families up there.
And why did they
raccoon
make a
families.
claim?
Because his roof was leaking. And he was cutting holes in the OSB.
Oh.
Anyway, he went on it was leaking in the back of the house.
Where-
This was in the front of the house. Walk into the house, he's a hoarder.
Oh, you got pics?
No, I can't take pics.
Bummer.
Well, there's some in the file, but I had to walk through like a
Trails.
small little aisle.
Yeah,
Yep.
trails.
And he had like hundreds and hundreds of Tim Hortons cups. Let's got loads.
Dude, my
of
man
coffee.
knows good coffee.
And the weirdest thing is when he didn't allow us in the back room. All his doors were closed, and in like his family room area were probably I want to say 10 racks of women's clothing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, was right. And he was like, "Oh, I'm just holding these for my sister."
Zimzer.
What is that?
Chris knows.
Wait, Ziza.
Yeah, like
pronouns?
gender pronouns.
Dog, it was super weird. I was like, "Get me out of here."
Fuck.
Yeah, so it's some weird shit. I mean, a little bit of fraud, a lot of fraud.
I'm sure.
You know, I haven't had one person tell me when they get into a rear end accident or an accident that they were texting. Not one.
And it's probably more than half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Oh, I got distracted. That's what they say. I got distracted.
Such a strong.
I had to pick up.
Giving a thumbs up to a Facebook conversation.
I can't bitch, dude. I've texted and drove.
Me too. I
Yeah.
try not to. I use speech to text, but it's like Chinese people talking sometimes.
I know, but when you're on the road and you see like, and you look ahead of you and you have like no cars, or you're like, all right. Even in traffic, sitting in a light.
I'm
or-
guilty.
Guilty.
I'm looking at this website, Don't Text and Drive. United States Department of Transportation notes that cell phones are involved in 1.6 million auto crashes each year that cause 500,000 injuries and take 6,000 lives.
And you wonder why your auto premiums are high.
Wow. Up to 80% of all crashes involve some form of driver distraction.
Of course.
Of course. That's why I have a job.
Jeez.
And
I do it too. I don't like to.
I know.
But
It's just bad when you're like driving and you look over and every car they're doing it.
yeah.
That's a fucked up time. Everybody just stares.
or when they're on the freeway and they're driving like 62, and you're like, "What the hell's the city doing?" You pull up beside them and they're just staring at their phone.
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna kill someone, man. And then I'm like, "You're gonna kill someone, man." Then I'm texting.
I know. Terrible.
One of these days, like a good technology would be just have it like pop up.
Yeah, heads
like-
up display.
Yeah,
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 absolutely.
Oh,
There
it's
you go.
coming,
That's
dude.
the new idea.
yeah.
It's coming. What happened to this Google Lens where you could wear like a contact or glasses and it could just like do all kinds of shit for you?
I heard that was in development. I know Google Glass didn't work. They pulled that off.
What is that?
The glasses?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but lenses like the contact lens.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah,
AI, dude.
yeah.
AI's coming.
Oh, dude, I looked up that Black Mirror.
Did you watch it
any of
yet?
it?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god, dude! Watch the first season.
We should watch an episode after. It's upsetting.
Is it
It's-
scary?
It's just okay. I'm like scared about AI.
I
And
am too.
We've talked about it,
Yeah.
and you watch it, and it just shows some of the possibilities. And it's not like it's 100 years in the future. The show takes place like next week. It's wild.
I like the one where she brought back her dead husband. Oh, there's an episode
A
where
lot of downloading your consciousness and stuff like that. It's cool.
super cool, dude. Where you're able to bring back a dead person, but it's an AI. They take your lost loved one or whoever it may be, kind of takes their consciousness, maybe it takes something from their dead body, puts it into an AI that looks just like you, Chris. But you'd be dead, but there would be a exact replica of you that's a computer. But you'd fuck, you do everything like
Jeez,
it's like you,
that's scary.
but it's not you.
Yeah.
It's an interesting show.
And she ends up like, I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spoil it, but it's super super cool
If you
show.
need a rest day, it's a good show to watch. Like I can't watch more than one a week. It's too much for me.
I've watched them all, so I'm.
Oh, I've seen them all. Oh yeah.
I hated Bandersnatch. I just didn't.
I didn't like it. It was cool concept, and now there's like a, what's his name? The survival guy's got a TV show where you can pick what he does. Bear Grylls on
Are you
Netflix.
really?
Yeah. Bandersnatch was a movie where you could choose what happened,
Yeah.
but it made you go through all 6 scenarios in the end, anyways.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't amazing. I agree.
No, I was kind of upset, but I was sick when I watched it, so I had nothing else to do.
We got to get Chris woke to the Netflix.
Do you have cable yet?
No.
Chris doesn't even have a TV.
No TV.
But
no
I got enough
internet.
TV for Chris, so
Yeah.
we're good. I feel like such a goon.
No TV, no internet, no cable.
Dan, living off the
It's
grid.
like he's
man.
Amish.
Fucking grid, man. I just got my book. I got my Bible.
You're good.
That's all I need.
Are you religious?
Yeah, I was
a
going to ask
little
you about
bit.
that. So how do you
Kind
how do you
of.
work that in with like everything that you know about science? And
I've
always
I don't
wondered.
think, like, I forget who said this, but I don't think like science disproves the Bible. I think it just like I think they affirm
Each other?
each other
Okay.
in a way. But I don't know, it's hard like like if you want to talk about like evolution, like I got in a debate with my friend cuz I think there's a difference between evolution and Darwinism.
Explain.
Isn't survival of the
it's-
fittest almost evolution?
well, yeah.
Tigers with spots do better because they're camouflage, so the ones that aren't, they breed. I mean,
Well, it's yes, yeah. Like that's
Yeah.
like I would
natural
consider
selection
that like
almost.
yeah, natural selection. Like I forget this guy I was listening to just poking holes in like the evolutionary theory, and I was like, man, that's like a lot of this stuff makes sense, but I couldn't for the life of me like remember like any of these points.
Sure.
He was saying a lot of the stuff with like like butterflies growing on like trees and they change colors. A lot of that was like faked apparently. Darwin was like apparently was big in the psychedelics and took
My man.
stuff. Yeah. And the other thing is like how come like just fossil records, I get it, like it's hard to find fossils and shit. But there's not a lot, like we don't have a lot.
I have heard that carbon dating is a little fucky,
Yeah.
like kind of pseudo,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it's just a simulation.
We're the
I
Matrix.
think it might be.
I think we're just probably
Yeah.
in a computer simulation.
That's entirely possible.
It's super possible. And the more I read about it, the more scared I get. Becca's like, you need to stop that. Because I'll get myself all worked up.
What
But
if?
Man, you got to think. There's a lot. You can't really prove that it's not. I don't know. I love thinking about it.
So do I. But then
Shit
again,
fascinates
I
me.
think about just like, all right, the human body fascinates me. I'm like, why would? I agree with you that it's entirely possible we're in a sim, but we're just so complicated as humans.
I know. It's weird, man.
Like enzymes and proteins and in the body and how the body works and
There's a guy that was saying he was arguing for that we're living in a simulation right now because we're so dependent on like technology that you would rather, like this one guy was telling me this, like his daughter, they were inside and she was saying, oh, it's raining outside just by looking at her phone. And he's like, no, it's not. Look out that goddamn window. And it's not raining. But it's like she was relying on this to like influence her reality.
Dude, it's these cell phones are heavy into influencing people's realities, especially with social media.
Social media's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, man. I agree.
Like, what's the first video game you remember playing? Like the very first video game you played?
Super Mario.
Okay.
For Game
Ever?
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh man,
I remember Atari.
no.
Think about how
Atari.
far video games have come in 25 years. Okay. Now you can do virtual reality headsets. How the fuck do we know we're not that? Some iteration of that, like in the future. We're just a simulation. Just think about how fast stuff got
25 years.
Yeah.
Which is
So in
absolutely
25 years, how do you know
fucking
someone's not wearing
nothing.
a headset right now and controlling us? Who knows, man? It's just something to think about. Probably just
Yeah.
too much pot in general, but
Yeah, what else is crazy is that we're all made of fucking stardust,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
We're just, you know,
carbon.
yeah, from a blown up star. All fucking accretes in a disc, clumps together, smashes into fucking each other. Then you get Earth that's like a boiling rock.
Mm-hmm.
Steam, rain, boom, oceans, life.
It's like watching Planet Earth right now.
That's the other thing with evolution. I'm just like reading this book that I listened to this author. It's called Icons of Evolution by Jonathan Wells. And this guy isn't a pastor. He's not like priest or anything. He's a PhD, Harvard and Cal Berkeley.
Okay.
So, he's not some guy like standing on a soapbox in the
Sure.
corner saying, "Praise Jesus."
God
Um,
is the way.
So what is his 10 icons are? Let me see if I can. The Miller-Urey experiment. Wells argued that since the atmospheric composition using the experiment is now known to be incorrect, it should not be used in textbooks. Darwin's tree of life. Wells discussed the use of phylogenetic trees in biology textbooks, though Charles Darwin himself only included a schematic diagram in his works. Wells stated that textbooks do not adequately address the Cambrian explosion, the emergence of major phyla,
What was the Cambrian explosion? Was it like 60 or 160 million years or 240 million years ago?
What is the
500
Cambrian
It
explosion?
was just a bunch of stuff just
541 million
Okay.
years ago,
I'm not even close, halfway.
when most major animal
Yeah.
phyla appeared in the fossil record. Wow.
But then there was like the Great Dying, where everything almost died. The Peririum? I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
And the Earth
Period.
froze over.
Yeah, Snowball Earth theory. That's
I believe in
interesting
that,
too.
dude.
Fascinating,
What I
man.
believe, who knows?
What
knows?
Hancock was talking about, that period, 12,000
Younger
years ago?
Dryas.
Yeah, the Younger Dryas, where
Yep.
like,
Massive cooling and then a heating period. Yeah.
yeah, and massive amounts of animals died. Mammoths completely died off.
Well, they're
Yeah.
dating those huge craters on the in Greenland to that. So maybe it was an
Really?
impact or multiple impacts.
Mm-hmm.
And then, fire, there's black mat everywhere everywhere they dig and they can find the black mat, it's all over the world at that time frame.
What was he saying about that meteor that was in danger of striking us every like 5 years?
From the
Taurus?
Taurids.
Yeah.
June and November.
Oh, shit, son.
Yeah.
And NASA is doing their first ever impact test like of a next week. Because there's an object that they're testing, they're gonna, what do you call it? Like a drill.
Wow.
To see what would happen. if
Yeah,
it
I read
came
about
to
it
the
today.
Hold that up.
And
All they have to
NASA
do is
does
knock
impact
it,
drill.
right? You don't have to blow it up. You
Well,
just knock it off.
put solar sails on it, slow it down a little, move it. You
Yeah.
don't want to shoot like
Nudge
a
it.
missile into it or something
No.
and have 100 pieces.
Yeah, you don't want Armageddon,
No.
the movie.
I'm going out. If that's the case, I'm buying stuff. I'm buying a new car, going on vacation.
Dude, I'm a fragile little man. I'll fucking die in the apocalypse.
This is how NASA would respond to an asteroid impacting Earth. And yeah, it's a whole freaking. They're gathering 2019 Planetary Defense Conference in early May to investigate a tabletop exercise that simulates what would happen if scientists and authorities were to learn of near-Earth objects. Wow. Did you know, I read this on Vox that in 2012, apparently a coronal mass ejection,
And
From the
screwed all
sun?
the cell phones up.
it missed
Satellites?
Earth. It missed Earth by 2 weeks in 2012.
What do you mean?
It was
If
so
we were
far.
going through our procession
Mhm.
and it missed.
Yeah, and then like the
I
point.
understand.
Yeah, the point that it went past our procession, we hit that spot in the procession like 2 weeks later. Yeah,
We might not be here.
What would that have done to satellites?
I'll no
Would've
more.
fucked it
Fucked
up.
all the grid and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah,
Would we
Would've
have
been
like a
bad. It would've-
blackout?
Oh, it would
Yeah.
have been, everything would have been fried. Who knows what would
Yeah.
happen?
And maybe it would have only been parts of the world.
We've been hit with them before, and it
We
just
have.
screws up cell phones.
Yeah.
Do you think that in our lifetime, boys, we might see something of that proportion? Not necessarily. Just I'm talking like a dramatic, just
Like a
I don't say
catastrophe level event.
life-altering. I don't say life-altering, but catastrophe. We
Probably
see
not.
catastrophes all the time. I mean, tornadoes, hurricane, fire, wildfire. I'm just talking like something legit.
Probably not, because they happen so infrequently.
And we
I
have
would
the
say
technology to
well, we're
to
not
maybe
looking.
get rid of
though.
that.
I don't think that they look. Like people look, but it's not like a major like concern, I think.
Why is that?
Because it's not a problem until it's a problem.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, it's a lot of money
Yeah.
to point a bunch of telescopes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything will happen in our lifetime, but I think that'd be silly to say something wouldn't happen in 1,000 years.
I agree with you.
There was the thing in 1850s.
Tunguska?
No, the Carrington event.
Ooh, explain.
It was a coronal mass ejection
Oh, I've heard of that.
that happened, and it blew out, like, 1850. So they didn't
Telegraph.
have. Yeah, they blew out like so much stuff. Solar storm of 1859 was a powerful geomagnetic storm during solar cycle 10. God, perfect.
Our sun
Yeah.
is not even that huge, dude.
Oh gosh, you ever see
It's
those
a little
comparison
baby.
videos?
Oh, I have.
You ever see a video where
Yeah.
people leave the sun at the speed of light, and it takes like 7 or 8 minutes to get to Pluto?
No
No,
way, dude.
45 minutes to get to Pluto, or some craziness. I'll send you the video. It's mind blowing. Space is so big. Well, it's endless. It's just hard to
Infinite.
fathom.
Infinite. We can't fathom it as humans. We cannot.
It's like saying something's 540 million years old. I
That's
don't even know
why-
what something 540 years old is.
I think that there's got to be microbes somewhere near on another planet. There's got
Of
to
course.
be. Brian
course.
Cox was saying that he believes that there maybe not advanced life like us in our galaxy, but he believes that there is advanced civilizations elsewhere in the universe. It's the math alone would warrant that. I mean, it's just you can't. There's infinite amount of galaxies.
Yeah, and we're just a solar system. And we can get to
Exactly.
the moon, which is like putting a golf ball.
But we don't even go to the moon anymore.
No, I
that
think
weird?
India or China just had a
Yeah,
problem
they
there.
did.
Something blew up on the moon, or they lost some people, or
Yeah.
like
Okay.
recently. Yeah, like India,
They went to the other side of the moon.
other side of the moon,
Yeah.
the dark side of the moon.
moon.
Hey-ho!
Hello,
The dark side.
Anybody in there? Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
Dude, I just that's what I think about a lot. That's what kind of worries me is like existentialism. What's going on here, man? What is going on? What is our purpose? Where do we go after this?
Yeah.
Are we the universe's consciousness? Is consciousness the universe trying to express itself through us? I just think that that's
Yeah.
such a selfish. That humans are very selfish. You know, we not even a few hundreds of years ago we thought we were the center of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and
just ignorance.
yeah. Are we that? We're on a rock, hurling through space, next to a sun that ain't even that big, in a galaxy of billions of stars.
It's wild.
So what? Why
And
are
then
we
billions
so?
and billions of galaxies?
Yeah.
Endless.
Why have we gotten to the point to where we can have a podcast conversation, we can experience love, joy, we can build satellites, we can build monoliths. What the hell,
Yeah.
man?
Dude, I don't know.
Where in the back to evolution? Where in the process did
Yeah.
our brains blow up? Apart from monkeys,
That's what I'm saying, man.
where there's a
don't
missing
get it.
link.
I don't get it.
I don't get it
Yeah.
either. So I
Like-
just smoke dope and fucking think about it.
That's what I told my friend when we were debating this. Like they're still monkeys. Like we still have monkeys.
Yeah.
Like, and at what point, if I take a fly Okay, because flies like reproduce like
Constantly.
constantly. At what point does that fly turn into another animal? Like and like you could take bacteria too. Bacteria, if a fly reproduces fast, bacteria is like freaking infinitely
Sure.
times faster. And I'm like, okay, how come this bacteria is now not turning into like something?
What
like
they do,
new?
that's like antibiotic resistant drugs. Stuff just
Yeah.
constantly is changing. I think
That's true.
the reason we don't
Yeah.
have that missing link is because the fossil record sucks. They just keep finding new species, and I think a lot of stuff that was taken is like, this is science and this is how it was. It's just bullshit.
With-
People not
yeah,
knowing and people wanting. I think we just don't know anything. So
yeah,
who knows? It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
It's great to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Making
and
my brain hurt. I love it. Will drinks that C8 and he's over here dropping knowledge.
I'm just dropping thoughts,
I like it.
but it's just so why? Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Like why? Like how are we able to like think about this?
Yeah,
Right.
consciousness.
Yeah.
Do you even think that
Yeah.
We're
we don't even know
sentient
what
beings.
consciousness is?
No one knows.
It's an agreed upon set of hallucinations. Is what consciousness
That's
is.
why. That's where your sim theory comes
Yeah.
in.
We all agree upon. I mean, who knows if you see? I see a red box. Who knows what the fuck you see? It's everybody sees
Yeah.
everything different. Who knows?
That is weird.
Think about that.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Life is how you perceive it.
Do you believe in free will?
Oh, here we go, dude. Let's go deep. Free will. Okay, so you're saying that if I leave your house right now and I decide to take a left,
That was no choice of yours, is what I'm saying.
you agree that there was no choice of mine.
Well, with some of the smartest like neurologists say that there's no free will. That's pretty interesting.
that everything's
Yeah,
predetermined.
if you're going to go to prison, you're going to prison. It's your brain chemistry, and it's just the way you are.
Ugh, that's scary, dude.
And I thought that was the wildest thing I've ever heard. And then I started listening to Sam Harris and like Robert Sapolsky and
Do
all
they
these-
believe in
they
predetermination?
They believe that everything's predetermined.
Have you ever seen Donnie Darko?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
It's a wild movie.
The
yeah.
Crazy.
what is that orb that comes out of them?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's
It's
the
been
predetermined
years.
path.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about that. So people in prison can't help it. Is that the thought then? And people who are successful, it's just the way it is. It's just bizarre to me.
They've talked on Rogan about you carry like all your like ancestors.
DNA
Yeah,
and like experiences.
yeah. So like if you're like he was using the example if you're like scared of if like arachnophobic, like how did you just learn
Yeah,
that?
how's everybody scared of
I'm
snakes?
terrified of snakes. Terrified.
Yeah,
Why
don't
am I
like
terrified
snakes.
of snakes? I've never been attacked by a snake.
No.
Yeah.
I've seen a snake in my
But
backyard.
they say like children, like infants know that snakes are scary. How would they know that? No one's told them that.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
it's
the
well, that goes back
ingrained
to
DNA.
Is that evolution?
Who knows? It could be your gut bacteria for all they know. Who fucking knows, man?
Dude,
I
there's
mean,
just so much shit. And you know what? I don't want to side with these guys, but I kind of get a little upset with the guys. These are smart dudes. Neil Tyson, Brian Cox, physicists, scientists who say that this is it. Like we're just biological. We're just functions of a human